Miami Dolphins added even more interviews on the table. We are now up to what, 10, 11, including John Harbaugh, who's with the Giants. So
38.
38. Soon to
Do
be
you
40.
count John Harbaugh? Come on, he didn't.
Hey, he's still out there.
What is up, Dolphin fans? Welcome to another Dolphin Collective, a Friday Dolphin Collective. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic Friday and you got off this weekend. You can hang out, relax, watch some playoff football. Let's shout out the sponsors real quick, starting with Seat Geek. Check them out if you are in the area of one of these playoff games and you want to go to the game. Use the promo code FINS10. You get 10% off your first purchase. We love using SeatGeek. Use them all the time, as well as Sleeper. Go check them out. Use the promo code HMA. 100% up to $100. Really, really fun fantasy app to use, as well as we are on podcast forums, whether it's Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. And you want to become a member, you just hit that join button next to the subscribe button. You get a ton of perks, and one of them we are working on, a little special one for all you members. Real quick, though, before we get into Miami Dolphin stuff, I just want to get your guys' picks on this weekend's games and see who you think the conference championship is going to be. So real quick, we'll go around the table, starting with me, and we'll pick games. Bills, Broncos, I am going with the Bills. I don't want to, but until otherwise proven, I'm going Bills. Omar?
I'm going with the Bills as well. I do believe that Denver plays with fire too much. And I think at some point they're going to get burned in the fourth quarter.
Alan?
I'm going to get crucified for saying this. I'm actually rooting for the Bills. And I know, bad on the Dolphins podcast. Bad, Alan. Time to get pow-powed. I actually think Denver is going to win. I think that defense is going to wind up overwhelming Josh Allen.
TD, should I even ask you?
I don't know. You'll be wasting your time. I hate the Bills.
There you go.
But no, Denver's going to win anyway, whether I hate the Bills or not. They're at home, altitude, cold weather, all that good stuff. I know Buffalo's used to cold weather, but this defense is pretty legit. Unless you get not a superstar game from Josh Allen, but above that. That's the only way they win.
49ers Seahawks. 49ers banged up. They don't have Kittle. Seattle coming off a bye. Playing very well. We've interviewed Kubiak, one of my top choices to be a head coach, and we will talk about that. I'm going with Seattle. I think 49ers are just a little too banged up. I think Warner's coming back. He has been practicing. No, he's not.
Not this week.
But I'm going with Seattle. We'll go the other way. TD, who do you like in this one?
This is 49ers versus Seattle. It's 49ers all day. The most underrated team in the NFL this year, low-key sneaking into the position that they're in now. Nobody's giving them respect. And as long as Sam Darnold's taking snaps in the big game in the playoffs, I would never pick the team he's going to be on.
Alan?
We have a Darnold hater in our midst.
A realist.
Having said that, to me, Sam Darnold's the only reason I'm even hesitating to take Seattle, but I think Seattle is legit. They're really good top to bottom. I think Seattle's going to win that.
Omar?
I don't believe in Seattle. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. Tell me the big game that he's actually won. So I think that even though they are the home team, I think they will suffer an L.
Then we have the Houston Texans heading to New England to take on the Patriots. Houston with that fantastic pass rush, absolutely dominating, taking on a Patriot team that also had a fantastic pass rush, but against one of, if not the worst offensive line in football, and the Chargers. I want to go Houston because I really don't want a Bills-Patriots championship game, because then either way I'm losing that one. But I think the Patriots are going to win this one. I don't know if Houston is ready to be in this situation, but I'm going to change it up. Alan, who do you take, Houston or New England?
You mentioned the Houston pass rush. That secondary is the best secondary in the NFL too. Those two corners, and if you throw in the nickel Petrie, damn, that's a good group right there. Holy moly, that's a good group. I'm not crazy about their offense, but that defense is big time, and I still don't think the Patriots are a Super Bowl team, even though they've come a long way. I like Houston in that game.
Omar?
I don't believe in Drake May. I don't think Drake May. I'm just kidding. Drake May is number 2 for MVP voting. I like Houston. Everybody knows I like Houston. I think they're a Super Bowl team. I think that defense, we probably haven't seen a defense like that since maybe Tampa Bay or the Baltimore Ravens. They are a ferocious defense. So I'm picking Houston to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Nice. I'd actually like that. I'd be rooting for Houston in the Super Bowl. T, who do you got?
This one's easy for me. I got the New England Patriots. Houston has a great defense, but can anybody tell me the one game they ever felt like Drake May was bothered by a good pass rush or anything? Also, the New England Patriots, they just keep chipping away. They don't get too high, get too low, whether they got a punt or they go score. They're just going to keep on playing football. Houston does the same, but they won't do enough on offense to score enough points to beat them. The defense will play well for Houston, but the Patriots will score.
Should mention Nico Collins is not playing in that game. That's good.
Yeah.
And Gonzalez is, which is big. I thought if they didn't have Nico and Gonzalez, I think that would have been a fair. But no, Gonzalez is gonna go. So then we got the final game. The Rams heading to Chicago. 4 degrees. It's projected to be 22-mile-an-hour winds. It is gonna be cold in Chicago. This Rams team, last year they showed that they can play in the cold. They can play in the snow. They almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a hard one for me. I think, honestly, it's probably going to be kind of like the Packers game where it starts off with the Bears going slow again. But Stafford, it's up to Stafford. He's played in the cold. It's not going to affect him. I'm going to go with the Rams. TD?
I'm going with the Bears easily. Caleb Williams, I'm riding on the train now. He's legitimate. There is no more clutch. There is no more clutch quarterback in the NFL this year in the fourth quarter than Caleb Williams. That's a fact. Caleb Williams. Ain't no more clutch quarterback in the NFL than Caleb Williams. Also, here's the problem with the Rams. People don't realize they've had a great season, but those last 5-6 games, they did not look great at all. And it carried over into the playoffs with Carolina. You looked like they were going to control the game, and then Carolina, they just kept blowing it. You can't do that against the most clutch team in the fourth quarter. Caleb, miracles are about to happen, and the Bears going to the NFC
Championship. All right. Omar?
I'm going with the Rams. I like the experience of Stafford. I think they've got enough talent from a defensive standpoint. I do hear what TD is saying about how they haven't looked great within the last couple of weeks, but they advance. And I think, there's still enough Super Bowl champion remnants on that team to continue to move forward.
And Alan?
It does.
And TD, got to give you a great stat to back up what you said that I heard today. The Bears had 7 wins this season when trailing at the 2-minute warning. That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Having said that, I like the Rams.
Get to you. You're going to say something?
I can't Tua do that. Listen, I gotta when are we as Dolphin fans gonna be able to right here, right now, on a day like this, say, who you got in the divisional round of the playoffs? Do you got the Dolphins, or do you have this team? Why we can't have nice things? Why?
It's a curse. It's because we're cursed.
I'm not entertaining you, TD. Not today.
No, this ain't about Tua. I'm just saying in general, as a fan, why we
somehow it was gonna turn to Tua though.
Yeah.
On it.
Well, 80% of the playoff games are played in cold weather.
I might as well just say right now, it's Tua's fault.
This is true.
With our first topic, the expectations for John Eric Sullivan. He's got a little bit of an uphill battle to go against. Looking at the dead cap, looking at the cap space, looking at the Tua situation, his contract, all that stuff. My expectations, especially year one, for John Eric Sullivan, is more just to right the ship Because right now, after what Greer was doing with the Tua contract, renegotiating Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey kind of put us in a deficit. For now, my expectation for 2026 is right the ship and draft better, if that's possible.
Good plan.
But
Good plan, Doug.
it's funny
Right,
because it's not
draft better.
it's
Good plan.
it's not hard, but apparently we just couldn't do it for a while. But I like what he said when they interviewed him. I'm like, what is your plan? He said, win. You know,
Wow, that's revolutionary. Holy moly.
but it's just the way he said it and how he was just
man.
like, cut the fluff out. You know what I'm saying? And he just
Greer, he'd be like, y'all worried about winning more than we are.
Kurt Zanetti, I just win.
Exactly. Omar, what is your expectations for John Eric Sullivan?
He comes from good stock. He knows or has experience building a solid roster. Didn't say championship roster. I don't think I could recall anybody who comes from the Green Bay tree who has failed or who has drastically done a poor job. Maybe Poupart could. I'm not talking about coach.
I'm a little queasy about your comment.
I'm not talking about coach. I'm talking about front office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. That guy had no business being a head coach, and I don't know how Steve Ross actually picked him to be one. I want a good coach hire. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I actually just recently wrote a column in the Miami Herald where it's basically begging you Dolphins fans to go find some back room to have some conversation with Cignetti, Kurt, and make him an offer that he can't refuse because he has the DNA of what I believe is a great coach. And I don't see great coach in this smorgasbord of candidates that we're looking at.
So getting great players who are all older than your opponents, that's the formula? Okay.
Being able to identify great players, being able to identify good players, it's a good start.
Also
Being able to develop, everybody does this. Being able to identify good players that you can groom that fit your scheme and your system. Like, I'm sorry, I've done my research. There's no hole in this guy's coaching game. None.
He's never coached in the NFL.
Okay, well, his brother has. His brother has connections.
Okay, that's fine, but
he comes from two generations of coaches. His father certainly has connections and knows people. He coached for Nick Saban, is probably the most, if he wins a championship, probably will be the most successful Nick Saban protege.
I was going to say, how have Nick Saban proteges fared in the NFL?
I'm just saying.
Hold on. Matt Patricia. Who else? Hold on.
Oh, those are Bill Belichick.
Belichick. Sorry. Hold on. There have been others.
I didn't say. Here's the thing, and he's not a Saban disciple. He is his own version of himself. You can't name any other coach like him. So let's just hope Steve Ross smartens up.
Alan, what's your expectations for John Eric Sullivan?
Cignetti on the phone. That's Cignetti on the phone over there.
Sorry.
Okay. What my expectation is for him to hit on the draft more consistently, particularly in the early rounds, than what Chris Greer has done. Except we won't know this, generally speaking, for 2 or 3 years. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far to make good, because what he said in that little clip released by the Dolphins, that's all great and dandy, like building a tough physical team.
Yes,
and all that.
PR.
But that's also got to be reflected on the field. That's also part of the coaching search. And he's one of the members involved in the coaching search. It's not all him. That's number one. Number two, What's your philosophy? Winning the press conference. I mean, it's great. It's going to get the fans jacked up. Come back to me in 1 year to look at his free agent class. Come back to me in 3 years to see how he's drafted.
2 years. They don't spend the first year of a coach in free agency. It's never happened. So
They're not going to spend big, but you could make good bargain.
you look at every single first year of every single coach, and it's bargain basement binge.
And one more. Let me try it again. Take two. You can find some good bargains without spending huge money. Let me go while you guys keep talking. I'm going to go look here at my notes and come up with some guys, and then I'm going to pow you.
TD, what's your expectation?
I have 3 expectations for John Eric Sullivan. Number 1, find a great head coach. And guess what? I'm not putting pressure on him to find a great head coach right away, because there's a little secret in the NFL and NBA and all sports that nobody talks about. When a team goes through a rebuild, sometimes they hire a coach that they're going to do all the dirty work with for 2 years and then go get the coach. So that happens. It happens. We're not going to act like it doesn't happen.
So according to Flores, that coach is going to be black, but go ahead, continue.
No, it doesn't have to. I'm just saying in general, it actually happens. Like they bring guys in, they do 2 years of the clean out, and then when they're ready to win.
And Flores' lawsuit is predicated on that's always an African-American.
Well, hopefully they do a different nationality when this time. So I'm just saying that happens. So I'm not putting pressure on them, but find a good coach. It's not as big for me the first 2 years. Now, the second expectation, this is the biggest one for me. Find your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Find your franchise quarterback.
How long of a window you giving them?
What's that?
How long of a window you giving them to do this?
5.
5 years?
Yeah, to have somebody you believe in at least.
That's a long time, TD.
I
might have gone through 2 coaches by that time.
For a general manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at the lifespan of a general manager. I mean, that's why I say the most dangerous thing that you can do is hire a general manager, because they can go 10 years before you realize it's them.
Wow.
That happens. Look at the history of it on every team. You can go 10 years before you want to blame the coach. You want to blame this. You want to blame that, until you finally come to, I got to get a new GM. They live the longest, and that's GMs last the longest. That's a given.
I gotta look this up.
You should. You tell me what GMs come in and 2 years later, 3 years later, they gone. That's the position that lasts the longest. That's why it's important.
By the way, you know what's longer than giving a quarterback 5 years to establish himself? 6 years.
Josh even said he's been a member for 5 months. He said, "Oh Lord, I agree with TD. Pat's used Rod Mayo."
It happens, man. I'm not even making it, about the racial thing and stuff. But
I saw.
Can I say
the owner of the Patriots say in an interview the hardest thing he had to do was fire Gerard Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
But that dude looked like he was over his skis. If you want to talk about a coach who got done wrong, that was Lovie Smith in Houston. They did him wrong. That was bad. Gerard Mayo looked like he was over his skis big time.
Yeah, I call it the Mark Jackson effect. If I got the right name, the Golden State Warriors. You build it all up, and when it's time to win, come on, Steve Kerr.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson, I'm saying. Yeah, I knew I had the wrong name. But yeah, that's the effect that I call it. But the last expectation I have for John Eric Sullivan is going hand in hand with what Alan is kind of saying. I need to see you make profits. And what I mean by profits, that 4th round pick looks like he should have been a first rounder. That undrafted looked like a really good backup. That make profits, develop players that you don't expect.
That's a coach. The coach develops.
No, but you gotta identify.
Chris Greer did good in third day.
No.
Undrafted.
You DFA corners, he did well.
I agree.
He did better than you undrafted players than he might have done in the first round.
I agree, but John needs to do that. John has to do that as well. You need to get players that why would you get him? And this is why. He has to make the decisions even on those players. So those are my 3 expectations.
Wells over here thinking Jets got to go get 2.
Jets got to go get what?
What in the world
the
makes
Jets
people think the Jets are going to go get Tua Tagovailoa?
I saw that.
This kind of coincides with our next little bit about veteran coach versus newcomer. Number one Heat fan says, what is Coach Matt LaFleur worth draft pick wise, and can LaFleur refuse to be traded without retiring? And that is interesting because I did a little research into the contracts because obviously we saw John Harbaugh come out and he hasn't signed it yet. They're still doing the nuances of the contract, but essentially he's getting 20 million a year. Supposedly, again, it's not known, but supposedly LaFleur's making around 8 to 9 million a year. And Ben Johnson, his rival, who, if you haven't seen the handshakes they've had, is making 13 million a year.
Yeah.
So it's like LaFleur might be sitting there saying, look, if Ben Johnson's making 13, I need to be making 15.
I don't know why.
If do they move on from him? Is that even a possibility? Or like the gentleman said who donated, number one Heat fan, would it be a cut and dry move, or would they hold on to him and see if they can get a draft pick for him, Alan?
Oh, if they come to an impasse where the Packers decide he can't come back, absolutely they try to trade him. And then LaFleur right then and there absolutely has the right to say, I'm not going anywhere, fire me. He's got 1 year left on his contract, so that's a free $8 million. Or the Packers could make him coach his final year on his existing contract and quit if you don't like it. But then he forfeits $8 million.
Because I had a conversation on Twitter about people who were comparing him to Mike McDaniel and saying it's essentially the same guy, and I disagree with that.
LaFleur?
Yeah.
Come on. No.
One guy, they were saying that Packer fans think the same as LaFleur as Dolphins do with Mike McDaniel. And I was like, LaFleur won a playoff game and he consistently won with backup quarterbacks. So
he's only had one losing season.
Yeah.
Also blown a lot of leads, and he inherited Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And here's a problem with LaFleur, which I don't think he has a leg to stand on. You can't be comparing yourself to Ben Johnson. It looked like they're already going to do what you never did in his first year. And that's a reality, and that's in division. That's the problem.
I don't get wowed by one season. Show me sustained success. While I'm impressed with what Ben Johnson has done and what the Jacksonville Jaguars coach has done, do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will have my attention. I think Matt LaFleur is a very good coach. I don't have an issue with him if he's selected. What would I give up for him? I if anything of value, I give you a second round pick. And like, keep in mind, this franchise hasn't really done anything with top 2 round picks in the last couple of years. So who cares if I give it away for something I want?
And you have a possibility.
Shot at Patrick Paul. Not very
good. the one player that's really,
give Jonah time. Come on, guys. Yuri saying, Omar, love talking to you and helping you order your food the other day. Big fan of the channel. Love you guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, man. And
O'Shea did make a very valid point about the Rams. He said Adams was not there last week. And Adams also a player that has played in the cold. I think Kubiak and Campanile is the guy for us. To be honest, Kubiak has experience on both sides and comes from Seattle/Denver tree. Him and Jess will work well.
I think Kubiak is viewed as the front runner for Atlanta's job.
I hope not.
I'm not sure, but
reports. I've seen somebody else. Who was it? I forget. I saw somebody else for rumor to the front.
I keep hearing Saleh to Tennessee too. That's a name I keep hearing.
Yeah, I hear Saleh to Arizona.
I don't. My issue with what the coaching, what's going on right now, is just about everybody in the hopper for next up in line is part of the frat boy fraternity.
Mm.
And I just really feel very uncomfortable with that. And that whole LaFleur's, McDaniel, Saleh, Kubiak, everybody's literally coming from Shanahan's tree.
Mm.
But here's the thing, Omar, is look at the teams that are left in the playoffs. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur made the playoffs. He got eliminated, but I mean,
and even Houston's coach is on the tree as well. It is what it is.
That tree always falls short. Vrabel probably gonna win it.
Silence.
Sure, we'll go with that.
We don't have a lot of veteran head coaches that we brought in because I'm looking at the topic of veteran coach versus newcomer. We got a lot of newcomers that we have interviewed. Kevin Stefanski is a veteran. Robert Saleh is a veteran. That's it. 2 out of 10 are veterans.
And most of them are defensive coaches, which clearly indicates to me that you realize those are where the alpha males come from. I've scanned my brain, and I think I challenged Poupard last time. Name me the last alpha male offensive coach. I can only give you
Dan Campbell.
Okay, Dan Campbell, Brian Dable,
Gruden.
Yeah, Gruden. Yeah, alpha male. Why is McCarthy not getting?
I was going to ask that.
Great question.
I was going to ask that. I would take McCarthy.
I'd probably take him over a lot of these guys too.
So let me ask you a question about McCarthy. How do you think it looked with that loaded Dallas Cowboys team? What happened? How do you think that looks?
It happens.
I mean, they had it. I mean, that roster.
They had a ton of injuries too. Don't act like
that's normal.
Yeah, you're right. That is normal.
I mean, and I love McCarthy. I just think that's what's hitting him right now. You had a team that was hopefully ready to go for a Super Bowl, and it kind of flamed.
3 12-5 seasons though, back to back.
I would never.
Normal for them, for the Cowboys.
Is it?
It's always about getting out of the second round or the first round for them.
Damn.
All dating back to Tony Romo. That's what they did.
Have 3 12-5 seasons. Wow, that's impressive.
Went to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years.
That's what the Cowboys did.
What'd you say?
He went to 2 Super. Oh, who? Me or Alan?
Poop.
Got another one for you. Sean Payton's an alpha male, offensive coach.
Oh yeah. I mean, but like somebody who hasn't been doing this for 10, 20 years. Sean Payton is without a doubt an alpha male.
I think Omar's more talking about the new guys, the new OCs. But yeah, Mike McCarthy, 2 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Liam Cohen gives me alpha male, and Ben Johnson definitely.
Yeah. He kind of helped Aaron Rodgers because didn't Aaron Rodgers start 2 years after McCarthy took over for the Packers? Because McCarthy took over in 06. Rodgers was drafted in 05. And then 08 is when Favre left.
Correct.
So he kind of helped Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but most people are not going to care about a resume, the older resume, whenever you have more recent, sample size of failure.
His recent sample size is 3 12-5 seasons and 7
the Cowboys have somewhat done that for 20 years. The Jerry Jones and like every team needs a coach that's going to help get you over the hump. When I watch, I have my house Cowboy fans. I watch and study that. Okay. And when you look at it, you can tell he's on the sideline managing the team, but he's not impacting the games.
So what, you want a play caller as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, you need somebody to take ownership of it and run their specialty and coach up the other side as well. For me, I mean, everybody got their different styles and what they want.
I don't need a coach that's going to be a play caller on offense or defense. I want a coach that's actually going to be a coach. Like you could tell me, give me a run, give me a pass, and I create the game plan. And if you want to call plays, you can. But I think this trend of coaches calling plays is overrated, overhyped. I actually liked Brian Flores from the standpoint that he didn't really call plays. Now he might have told them what to do on defense a little, but yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even say their game plan. You know what? I can't remember Brian Flores, so I can't even tell you whether or not I really thought.
I'm with you on that, Omar. Give me a coach that's actually being the manager of the team. But the problem is a lot of those coaches, they don't hold their coordinators accountable all the time. Like I don't think these, like, it's just like corporate America. If you're the top dog and you're the head coach and you got an OC and a DC, you should be developing them. Yeah, I mean, but we don't talk about that part of the game. A head coach's job should be to develop his OC and DC and manage what they're doing on a regular basis and how they're improving, how they're coaching through their position coaches. But we don't talk about that. That's the importance of a real head coach. Now it's just sexy. Give me the play caller that's going to do good on his side of the ball. So that's the problem. Accountability and coaching the whole organization up from the bottom.
How many of those managers are left? There's not a ton.
You hit it. There aren't. But the problem is the culture is going after the play caller instead of the manager. The whole NFL culture, and that's part of the problem.
You know what I notice is something interesting. A lot of people, because we're on the topic of veteran versus newcomer, a lot of people, look down on bringing in a first-time head coach, but don't realize, and this is chicken and egg situation, where every one of these coaches that everyone's coveting, Harbaugh, Sean Payton, were a first-time head coach at some point. You just got to find the right guy, which is kind of like the draft. It's just got to do your research and hope the luck pays out for you. I Am Ted wants to know, when are we going to interview the water boy for head coach?
That was Mike McDaniel.
Oh,
Well done.
Eric says, can you confirm the report that if Belichick doesn't land an NFL job, his girlfriend plans to leave him and move in with Lou Holtz? These guys are bad in the chat. Poop is right. Mean stepdad coach and strong arm quarterback is needed.
That deserves one of these. There you go.
Who is it? Where's this mean stepdad coach come from?
Vic.
Oh, Vic. Okay. I told you, Vic had his job if he wanted it. I would give it to him. I would, but mm-mm.
He's Philly. I mean, he is Philly through and through.
No.
Oh.
I don't think he'll ever get another opportunity, even though he's done better than half of these guys we're looking at as defensive coordinators ready to become head coach. I don't think he'll ever get another opportunity because he's got a real gruff personality. And
you say it like it's a bad thing.
That's because he's your twin.
Oh man, do you think Fangio? Flores gets a job. He's getting more interviews now.
How many interviews who's he interviewing?
Baltimore and Pittsburgh head coach, and
I think he had one more. I don't know if it was Atlanta or something.
Commanders.
He had 3.
No,
Baltimore,
Commanders
Pittsburgh.
or defensive coordinator. But yeah,
I was told the Steelers loved him during his time there.
Listen, I watched that entire Baltimore Ravens press conference with the owner.
Mm.
First of all, they interviewed Brian Flores 30 minutes before that press conference. And when he came out, he literally said everything in relation to what he's looking for in a coach that spelled Brian Flores.
Mm.
And then this was the kicker when he said, I'm not going to let what happened for any of these coaches' previous situation when they were a head coach in the past affect my decision at all. And there's only 2 guys that fit that bill, and that would be Saleh and Flores.
Mm.
And then Pittsburgh, as soon as they fired Tomlin, he was the second one they selected to come in.
absolutely.
And I heard the same thing, Alan. They were ecstatic about it.
I think it's funny what the owner of the Ravens said about Harbaugh. If he made that kick, would he still be the head coach right now? And he said for one more week. He was out.
Yeah, he
regardless.
Yeah.
He said that in the press conference too. It was almost 3 weeks before he had already made the decision.
Mm-hmm. He was out.
I need to watch that press conference.
Yeah. He's talking spicy. He's talking.
He's
He was like, I'm selling the team, and he was giving that old man I don't care like vibe, and I love old man I don't care. Like it's one of my favorite things, which is why I like this guy down here.
Alan Poupard, the old man I don't care of the Dolphins Collective. Shout out to Lee for becoming a member. We appreciate you, bud. Garb Gump says, I want whatever Omar is drinking. What are you drinking? It does look tasty.
Fruit punch. It has no alcohol. For those who know me, they know I generally only socially drink. I don't. I did drink last weekend because I was out hunting. I only socially drink.
Proud.
I will be drinking on Monday night though, because me and Luke we're gonna do some party hosting at a booby trap on the river. For those who would like to come and watch a national championship with pretty girls on a pole, come on down.
Oh man. Oh
TD,
my.
what are you doing? What are you doing on Monday?
Huh?
You got the invite? What are you doing on Monday?
Nah, they don't want to party with me, man. I'll be at home and on my couch chasing this
What time
3-year-old.
the game starts? 7:30. TD would be in bed by 9:30.
Oh no, I'm a night owl. I'm up till 3-4 in the morning every day. So
True.
And that game probably not gonna be over at 12:30.
Is it?
yeah.
It's gonna be a long one. I wish it wasn't that late. I'd love to
We
live
gotta
stream it.
celebrate the Hurricanes' victory, man. Come on.
I promise you, they're gonna come and celebrate a booby trap. It's on the river. It's got to be specific. There's 2 booby traps. It's the river we're going to.
The river one, okay. The river
Yeah,
one.
Keys on my mind said stepdad GM head coach doesn't owe you anything. You ain't his. Earn his love.
Right.
Listen. And we talked about this on the collective. Vic ain't lied.
No,
Vic did not lie.
No.
He didn't tell one lie.
Mhm.
and I'll take ownership. I was a little like salty towards him. I was like, "What's your beef, Jerky? Like, give Cam Smith a shot." He was right. Like,
He didn't tell one lie.
no. And then everyone's like, "Kick rocks, peace, you're
Yeah.
out." And now we're sitting here like, see what happened.
Then he went and got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, this guy was always like, "Nah, Vic is right. They're wrong."
Then he goes and get a Super Bowl. The very
Yeah, right.
Hey, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Could he assemble? And this is my question for all the defensive coordinators, and it will always be the question I have: who's going to be their offensive coordinator? Are we just going to roll it over with Frank Smith and actually think that he can, be a good play caller?
A lot has to happen, man.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm good with that. Like you got to have a plan, and I don't know about what these plans are for these defensive coordinators. But Steve Ross better know, and Steve Ross is obsessed with offense. So if he does select the defensive coordinator, he'll have a good plan. Flores' plan was Jim Caldwell. And Jim Caldwell was here for a hot minute before Jim Caldwell realized I didn't want to work for Brian Flores. I got a medical issue. I gotta leave. So, and never came back.
I gotta
go. But this is a big point that you're making, because while we're out here trying to find a head coach, everybody's already interviewing for OCs and DCs.
No, that's not true. That's not fair. And there are a lot of people who are going to be waiting for teams to be finished playing. I don't see the rush. I really don't see the rush.
They're taking their time. They are.
And if you hire Kubiak, or you hire Saleh, or you hire Stefanski, cool. Think about how they operated the last search. They had something. I have a hard time believing Mike McDaniel was the first choice. I'm sorry. He damn sure wasn't the first choice.
Was the last search we did, was it this extensive of 10 candidates?
If you recall, the last search they did, the Dolphins did not announce their interviews. They've taken a different approach this time, and they are announcing the interviews after they complete them. Unless my memory massively fails me, and I don't believe it.
I don't remember this long list of interviews that they did. It's very extensive, which, I got another question for you guys. They don't fire Greer after, I was going to say Thanksgiving, after Halloween. Would the GM hiring be as quick as it was?
Probably. I think they knew specifically what they wanted. And
they pinpointed people?
Yeah. And most of those guys were in the frat boy crew. Sullivan is not. So I have a feeling like they're off the frat boy tip. We'll see. We will honestly see.
Whenever you look up, it looks like you're like.
No, I'm trying to think like what kind of old boy crew might that be? The Shanahan tree again?
The Shanahan tree.
How does Chad Alexander fit into that?
How does who?
Chad Alexander. Because Josh Williams, and by the way, and John Eric Sullivan, that's part. Well, it's kind of the tree a little bit sideways. I mean, he was hired by who was it? Was it Holmgren at the time?
I don't remember. I'm past the GMs now. I'm past. When I was asking around, it was pretty universal that okay, if they're not going to pick a Mike Buddy, John Eric Sullivan was the most qualified candidate.
Mm.
And you know, I trust the people that I talk to. So and realistically, they don't know these people know front office people. They don't know coaches. So I'm like here just farting in the wind. I don't know none of these guys.
Just don't be downwind from that.
I have a question about Campanelli. Are we not allowed to interview him?
He interviewed today.
Not Campanelli. I'm tripping. I'm talking about
Rizzi?
coach.
Who?
Indiana coach.
You do not talk about recruiting college coaches. You do not announce recruiting college coaches. I mean, because it's going to impact the recruiting, and opposing teams are going to use that against him. See, he going to the NFL. He's not coming. He's not going to be there. So why would you go to a program where you know this guy's going to leave for the NFL at some point?
So it has to be
it's on the hush hush.
He's not going to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. How many times does he have to say it?
Oh, he said it?
Nick Saban reference. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going. That's why I don't like him. He lied.
He's still a great coach.
Yeah, is that why? Because that's another thing I noticed. You're not hearing any college coaches getting.
You never hear a college coach is interviewing.
Yeah,
I remember people don't realize this, but Larry Coker interviewed for a Raiders job when it was open. He only told me that after he had been fired. And he had opportunities, and he was like, I had opportunities, and I basically turned them down to stay here. But college teams do talk to college coaches. I remember the guy at Stanford had talked to a number of teams before, you know, he moved on. I forget what his name is. Poupard will
David Shaw, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, David Shaw. Yeah. And Marcus Freeman, there was like talk that he's, you know, could be potentially talking to NFL teams. And a lot of times they just do that for the raise, to be honest with you. I don't know what leverage Marcus Freeman has, and I don't know really the value that he has as a coach because I don't think he ain't won nothing.
Dude, they went to the national championship game last year. I mean, they didn't win it, but still.
Like,
and they should have been in the playoffs this year, and they got completely screwed.
So I might as well hire Mario Cristobal for a head coach because, yeah, like, what has Freeman done?
Again, they went to the national championship last year. Jesus.
So is Mario Cristobal.
Shout out to Derek.
You watched their games, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Cristobal got some work to do.
In terms of game management, he's a great recruiter.
Hey, listen. Let's not put. Aren't we supposed to talk about the national championship?
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
No,
hold on. Allen is a Cristobal hater.
He's not a good game situational coach. He's lost a number of games making bad decisions.
He can win a natty. So
he can win a natty.
Yes.
He's too conservative in instances. It drives me nuts.
He got him to the
natty.
They
don't push the pedal when they got a team down. They really don't.
I forgot what game it was.
They started doing it. They started doing it after the SMU loss.
Drove me nuts. Phil with the 20 says, what would you guys think about Kurt? How do you say his last name?
Cignetti.
As a coach. Career record 67-26, won at every level, and Ross likes NFL coaches. Father was college Hall of Fame coach.
I just wrote a column in the Miami Herald that I would encourage everybody to read, but I don't believe that is his record. His record overall as a head coach is 145-37.
That's pretty good.
That's even better than this number.
Yeah.
And if I told you he coached IUP, Elon, James Madison before coaching Indiana, where he led them to an 11-2 record and a 15-0 record, and is a 2-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. Like, there is no flaw. I've done the research. There is no flaw in this man's game. And there's talk that the Steelers, and he is from Pittsburgh, might have interest. Like, if you are an organization and you're looking for an alpha male coach with an offensive background who could put together a quality staff, he fits every criteria. Who develops players. But anyway, I'm just,
if he wins the national championship, does he go to the NFL versus if he loses, does he stay and try to win a national championship? Does that factor in your mind if he goes?
He's so arrogant. I think he would take the biggest challenge.
So Miami, he's coming to Miami.
Like I would play on his arrogance.
I take it.
But if the Steelers hire him, it fulfills probably what might have been a childhood dream of coaching the Steelers.
Absolutely, and I think that I think it's going to happen.
And then he'll coach the Steelers for another 20 years, just like their record shows. They've had what, 3 coaches in their franchise?
Since 1970, they've had 3 coaches.
And we've had what, 437?
No,
11 coaches the Dolphins have had in their
Oh my goodness. Hey, speaking of the great, Shula picked the Dolphins as one of 3 teams for an interview
this weekend. This weekend, is when the Rams are out.
He picked.
Yeah, because he could say no. I don't want to. We've gotten that. Who said that to us during the McDaniel search? Was it Dan Quinn who was like, no, I don't want to interview with you guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. And then he pulled himself out of head coaching interviews.
To stay at Dallas for a little bit longer.
That's how enticing Miami was. So
then, and it's not Crowder who's going with me, booby trap. This is Luther Campbell, Two Live Crew. If you know who Two Live Crew is, and you know how Luke Campbell operates, it's gonna be live.
This is true.
Shout out to Miss Relentless, Dark Logan, Pal Rider, Viper on Fire, Native Dolphin 5410, and CB Blazin gets gifted memberships. Appreciate you. Joe Brady getting any interest. That to me screams Adam Gase, because Adam Gase had Peyton Manning and Joe Brady's got Josh Allen.
No, thank you. Yep. He I think he got fired at LSU. I can't remember.
He was a coordinator on that sick 2019 team. I mean, damn, that team was sick.
He
had what? Burrow and Chase.
Justin Jefferson, Chase.
National championship?
Yeah.
They did win the national championship.
Who did they beat?
Who did they beat? LSU. Who did they beat?
He got fired at Carolina. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he went from LSU to Carolina.
Yeah, and then he got fired. For Matt Rule.
Right now.
They beat some team with a bad quarterback.
He didn't beat Alabama in the national championship.
What was it?
Clemson
then.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Bad quarterback, like I said.
How long?
Year for a bad quarterback.
How long is the Jaguars on the hook for Trevor Lawrence?
One more.
They signed the same deal as Tua. Tua got a little bit more money.
It wasn't the same year though, was it?
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was the same year. So next year's Trevor Lawrence is good now.
But his year, they did it in year 4 though, didn't they?
No, they did it. They did it. Yes, they did it leading into his 5th year contract. Trevor Lawrence is literally nearly the exact same deal as Tua.
2024 is when Trevor Lawrence.
I think it's his 4th year, not his 5th year.
Yeah, going into his 4th, so they were able to spread it out a little better.
His cap hit this year is $24 million versus
it's different. That's the benefit of doing it that year early.
Mm-hmm. Their potential out is after 2028.
No.
That's what this says.
There's no way that's accurate.
Always a year. If you're on Spotrac, Track, it's 1 year earlier typically. They'll still take a hit, but yeah.
If they release Trevor Lawrence next year, it's a $30 million cap hit.
Yeah, that's
they will. No, the out is in 2028.
That's what.
It's 25 million, 25.5 million.
No, Doug, it's 2028.
Yeah, but in 27, what's the hit?
Why are we? Who cares?
It got brought up. It just got brought up, and I went down the.
It's a bad quarterback anyway.
Trevor Lawrence is getting cut.
I blame TD for derailing.
I just said bad quarterback.
He's not a bad quarterback anymore.
Yes, he is.
No,
Y'all
he's
going off for 6 games at the end of the season where he did play well. He did play well for the last 6 games of the season. Had everybody, Trevor's arrived. What happened in the playoffs?
Booty
Same thing.
cheeks.
Same
not
thing.
here
What's
right
Yeah,
now.
but we didn't have a good game in the playoffs. Okay, go ahead, Doug.
Golden Thumb says, anyone see Dan Sauter's Mike McDaniel's best friend trash the Dolphins? Yeah, he went in. He was mad. Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah.
He was
Do
mad.
we have proof
They
that he's
suck.
Mike
The
McDaniel's
owner
best friend?
sucks. Dolphin fans are dumb as hell. When I go there and it's third down, they don't even know what they're calling. F them. F
They're
the Dolphins.
they're making noise. Yeah. I mean, he didn't.
Why would you
tell a
do
lie.
that to my friend? Your
They did
friend
go wrong.
He didn't tell a lie.
fed false information if he thought he was safe, because we all knew he wasn't safe when they got to 2-7, my guy. So,
Dude, they allowed him to do player exit interviews Thursday.
So
Seriously.
dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
So
Let's talk about that.
Silly Mike McDaniel to think he was safe if they're allowing him to do player
I
exit
don't
interviews
care.
on
Let's
Thursday.
talk about that. Because speaking of player exit interview,
Oh, God.
That's why I brought it up.
Waller.
That's why I brought it up.
Darren Waller sitting in a player exit interview saying Stephen Ross came in, right? Said to Darren Waller, yeah, we want to keep you around. We want to keep you around. Then he said there was a lull. So this is what I imagine, right? This is what I imagine. Stephen Ross comes in and he's like, hi, Darren. Yeah, we definitely want to keep you.
Can you leave?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mike McDaniel's like, yeah, I'll catch up with you later. And then Stephen Ross.
I bet you Mike McDaniel's heart was beating.
What I'm going to tell you right now is something that you're not going to want to hear.
I hate this perception that Mike McDaniel got fired because Stephen Ross couldn't make up his mind or because John Harbaugh was available. No, the man listened to GM candidates. After he was done, he realized nobody wanted Mike around.
Okay, Omar, that's fine. But how can you possibly argue or dispute the fact that Mike McDaniel was given reason to believe he'd be back, for Christ's sake?
I don't care.
I think the reason
I don't care.
You were disputing that point before. Now,
No. I don't care whether he probably, all these words leaked out during the season that Mike is safe. Steve Ross likes him. That's what you got to tell the players so they can continue to play hard so they don't check out. Did you ever hear a single word from Steve Ross?
I knew he was gone.
dude hasn't spoken in 5 years. Almost. Of course, we haven't heard a word from Stephen Ross. Seriously?
I knew I'm sorry. I knew Mike was always going to get fired. I felt he was.
Did you write it?
No, but
Okay. I mean, so you didn't know.
I talked about it.
We're not gonna do that. He did declare that on this platform, though. He did
change the fact that it was horrible form to walk in. No,
why do you have to fire a coach on Black Monday?
I didn't say you have to.
Here's my question.
If you've decided either Wednesday night or Thursday morning that you're firing him, or you decided at 9:42 a.m., which was the time Waller said he came in, that you're firing Mike McDaniel, let him finish the damn talk with Darren Waller. You can. I know you're wrong.
Hey, he had a plane. He had a jet to catch, man.
That was messed up. That was a little messed up.
I'm the owner. I'm here. Get out.
I love that Waller said he kicked the door in. Now we know he didn't kick the door in, but that would have been even funnier if he straight
hey, somebody should make a cartoon version of that. And you know how they make a cartoon version?
It's Coaching Academy or something where it's the cartoons of the or Quarterback Academy or something like that. They need to do that because that would have been. He kicked the door in.
He kicked the door.
Yeah, we want to bring you. Want to be here next year? Stared at him I think you need to go get a massage or something. I got to talk to this man right here.
Man.
But I will say what Alan said, because it was very weird that McDaniel comes out and he's like, I'm a part of the GM search. And then Barry Jackson comes out and it's like, no one is saying he's a part of the GM search. Who is telling McDaniel these things to make him feel secure?
I think people
I know who told him. I know who told him. Mike McDaniel told himself, because no, I'm serious. No, hear me out. Listen to the words Mike McDaniel said. I am the head coach of the Miami Dolphins until I am told otherwise. This is the type of person he is. I am going to operate out of optimism at all times. I'm the coach. I'm going to be here next year until I'm told otherwise. I have a meeting with Stephen Ross at the end of the week. This is what he said. So that meeting was coming. And so all of this, I have player interviews. I am the coach of the Dolphins until I'm not. So he told himself that. And rightfully so, he should have. And that's why, and that's how he walked in and fired him the way he did. Of course, man.
Mike gets his money anyway. And as we see, Mike is popular. Mike is popping on.
Oh, yeah.
People tell me another coach that people have pictures of at an airport that's in any kind of interview.
Well, that's because his fashion style is very unique. But Omar started making the point, and I was pointing to him to say, yes, that the perception of Mike McDaniel saying, "Oh, I'm going to be involved. I'm going to be sitting in into everything," that was so massively blown up and disproportionate to the reality of his comments, which was basically, I'm going to be involved so far as they seek my input. He didn't. I mean, it was misconstrued as Mike McDaniel's going to be an integral part of the GM search. Which
Mike will be fine. He got fired and went to Disney. He went
to
Disney.
Gucci outfit.
The flyest Gucci outfit.
Did you say Gucci outfit?
Hiked up. That man never likes not showing his calves. Put them chicken legs away.
Stop. Listen, that was the flyest thing I've ever seen Mike wear. And
Mike Gucci'd out on a carousel. Just
like people don't realize Mike wears, and I'm not even counting his watch. Mike might wear conservatively $6,000 worth of clothing a day. Every day.
Crazy. You know how much this t-shirt cost me? $12.
not 6,000.
No.
But Mike, and we talk about it. We talk about it all the time. Those of us who are into fashion, we look up what Mike is wearing. We look up what his shoes are. Yeah. This guy here.
And he's the king of it.
We are like, sometimes I'll look up his shoes and they're $4,000. Like Mike, he's got great style, phenomenal style.
I can't justify putting something on my feet and walking on the ground $4,000. If I'm buying $4,000 shoes, I'm going to look at them. Those are nice. Yeah, they're $4,000. I'm not stepping on the ground with those things. Are you kidding me?
And you rarely ever see him wear the same shoe twice.
And he always has that tag on him too.
Doug, you might not be in the same tax bracket.
No, not at all.
Same.
Not at all. Or the same, like you. I don't know if you guys remember. I like posted a picture of these sneakers I got, and Omar was like, "You look like a waiter." Like I'm not even in the same styling, bracket as any of these people. I'm wearing a Stranger Things t-shirt and sweatpants. Like I'm not even in the same area code. Caverstein Dave says, "I want Saleh, Ulbrich, DC, and Mike LaFleur as OC. Would be a nice group." Mike LaFleur. He's going to be your head coach if he's coming to Miami. I don't know if he's going to be your OC.
I've asked this question: how many Kubiaks and LaFleurs are there in the league right now?
And there's Clint. There's like they all start with like K's too. That's a lot. It's like Watts. There's what 3 Watts? TJ, JJ, RJ.
No,
Scott.
Derek.
You got TJ, JJ, and Derek. There's Derek. He's a fullback. There he is. Enjoy his.
Could have been DJ. I mean, seriously.
Right. Throw a J in there. O'Shea says MLF has clock, MGMT, and dumb penalties like Mike McDaniel.
Not wrong.
Who's LaFleur?
Yeah.
LaFleur, yeah. Not wrong.
Cincinnati was also WV Mountaineers quarterback for 3 years, so can evaluate the position. Flicks.
I really think he is going to be Pittsburgh's coach.
Smart. Throw you up to shock the world. Big game back. We will get to that once I finish these donations. Matt with the fiber says, I think we should attempt to sign Malik Willis as a bridge. If he's a star, great. We have our quarterback. If not, draft a quarterback in 2027 draft. Thoughts? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the plan.
I think we're all for that.
I'll get competition for him though.
I haven't looked at his film yet, so I'm not going to say I'm all for that. I will say this. Last year, after the draft, everybody talked about how good the 2026 quarterback class was going to be. And it turned out to be a flop.
Yeah.
They are talking now about how good the 2027 quarterback class is going to be. And I promise you, it's going to turn out to be a flop.
And the better ones might end up being this one.
Yep. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
We just don't know. We have to wait.
Yeah, we don't know. But just like I think Poop Artist says this once whenever I say, okay, tell me who's the quarterback. He tell me who's going to replace Tua. He'd always say there's one quarterback in every draft that nobody is expecting much from, and he becomes somebody.
Yeah.
No, what I said is always a veteran who shows up on the market who you didn't expect to show up on the market.
That too.
You misquoting me again?
Both of them work though.
That's true. Yeah, no, both are correct. Jack says, I'm with Omar. It makes sense to listen to GM candidates before firing Mike.
Sure.
Possibility exists that you preferred GM candidate liked Mike. Yeah, I think that's what we all wanted, and that's why I'm happy they did it the way they did. They didn't shortchange themselves, because what if Sullivan was like, I don't want Mike McDaniel here, and then Ross was like, listen, we want Mike McDaniel, and then they move on from Sullivan, you miss out on him. So I'm all for that. Flo is the head coach Green Bay needs. They need his toughness. Interesting. Omar drinking that Tootsie Kool-Aid recipe. They're on you about that Tootsies. So let's get into this before we get out of here. National championship. Miami playing at home, even though they're in the visitors' locker room. Side note, I took a tour of that stadium. That visitors' locker room is real nice still. Who do you guys got? Now, I'm not that into college football.
Hold on. Time out. Does the Dolphins locker room get used? Like, I need to know what this locker room situation is, because the Hurricanes do have a locker room there. So does Indiana go in their locker room? Like, what's going on here? Like, I need to.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Omar, there ain't no way they ain't gonna take care of the U. However they want to slice it, visit or whatever. The U is gonna have either the Dolphins or theirs.
Here, I got a little.
Make any sense? has a locker room in the facility. So is it going to Indiana? And UM's using the Dolphins locker room?
Hey,
like
upgrade.
Like
that would be an upgrade.
I'm confused now. I'm really truly confused now.
They are the away team.
That's what it's going to be. What you just said.
How do they decide the away team for a national championship?
Higher ranked team would be my guess.
Interesting. I'm not that knowledgeable. I was rooting for the Hurricanes because I root for underdogs, and the fact that they had to, scrape their way into the playoffs, and now they're here. I'll be rooting for the Hurricanes. So I'm going to lean more on your guys. I'm going to be rooting for the Hurricanes. Screw it. I'm picking the Hurricanes, but I'm going to start with TD. What's your take on this national championship game, and who you picking?
It'll be a low scoring game, which nobody's expecting. The University of Miami will this will signify officially being back after getting robbed over 20 years ago in the national championship, which everybody and their mama know we got robbed. Indiana ain't seen a defense like this. Is the nose tackle playing, the D tackle for Miami?
I don't think so. No, they don't give injury reports in college, which I think is really ridiculous considering the gambling element to it.
That's a big piece right there, man. Be honest with you. But they ain't seen a defense like this. It's going to be a great game, though. The Hurricanes just need to score the football. They can't have a passive approach. They need to be aggressive and take shots and let those playmakers make plays. And I think that they will edge Indiana out. The home crowd will show up, show out. The city, I just think that this is what Hurricanes football is. When you doubt them, everybody doubted them every round to this point. They doubted them. So when you doubt them, this is when they show up and show out, and they'll get the job done. And we back, baby.
Real quick, Greg here says Canes aren't the underdog. Indiana are the underdogs. Indiana's given 8.5.
No. Like 8.5, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Indiana's
the
a
number
big
1
time
team
favorite
versus the number 10 team. I don't know.
Sorry, Greg.
I don't know where you're getting that information from, bud. Go ahead, Alan.
By the way, while TD was talking, I just looked it up, and according to a report on Monday, Ahmad Moten was all good to go, full throttle. So, Indiana's a great story, been the best team in college football, along with Ohio State, and then they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. However, where Miami is different is Miami in the trenches, and Miami is considerably bigger, particularly their offensive line compared to the Indiana defensive line. It's a massive mismatch, and this is where they have to ground and pound and wear them out. I kind of like UM's chances. Again, if they don't get cute, just keep pounding the crap out of them.
Omar,
I watched a clip of Trent Richardson's podcast, and in it he basically said this is like college football's worst nightmare for the U to be back, because everybody will want to go there because Miami's popping, and it's true, Miami is popping. You all know I believe football games are won and lost in the trenches. The University of Miami, they have the trench play on both sides of the ball. You'd have to give them the edge on both sides of the ball. And they also have a lot of kids who, like Malachi Tony and Bain, who have grown up here and know the starvation this community has for football success. To be able to do it in your hometown on one given night, and all you got to do is win that game, you're going to see some dogs show up on Monday night. And you're going to learn why South Florida football is better than everybody else's football. And I know Dallas people, Texas people are going to, go crazy about that. But we pump out that NFL product because we have that skill and we play football differently down here. And I'm so glad and proud that the Hurricanes have gotten back to playing how I've seen football played from Pop Warner on. And hopefully Mario unleashes the dog.
There you go. Well, we're going to get out of here. 1,200 of you beautiful human beings hanging out. We gained 300 subs since the last time we were live. We're at 11,300. You guys are killing it, hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Go check out Omar Kelly, MiamiHerald.com, Alan Poupart, Miami Dolphins on SI, TD at youtube.com/TDFinsTalk, and myself at youtube.com/DudleyDoWrong. We will see you guys Tuesday talking more Miami Dolphins football and seeing Miami Dolphin football, Hurricane football. We'll talk championships, and we will see who is going to the AFC and NFC championship game. Other than that, we are out. See you Tuesday.